Well.
Oh gosh, I'm
We're
scared.
back.
I don't know. Lonnie, Jasmine, why'd you do this? You left me alone today. All right. On three, my friends. 1, 2, 3. Hi. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Be Uplifted.
Boom.
Oh, okay. We're adding to the sound.
There we go.
Yeah.
Maybe one day we'll get you to actually say Be Uplifted.
I think I accidentally
You
said
did
it
once.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Damn.
I accidentally said. I think bye or whatever at the end. I don't know. I
okay.
can't remember.
How is everyone doing?
Doing okay.
As you guys can see, I am by myself with the boys, so I'm really scared. Just kidding.
As you should be.
This just means I'm gonna get,
That's a lie because that's the most protection you're gonna have
protection from what?
from evildoers.
Oh, okay. Evildoers?
Yeah, somebody came to attack us here. I could throw Vince at him,
Oh.
or vice versa, because he works out. I don't.
No,
But it might
see, I'm the safest person to be around because when I'm getting my butt kicked, then you can get away.
That's
This
true.
is true.
It's
This
like
is
smoke
true.
screen.
Yep.
I meant more like emotionally scared.
Oh, it's
having you
okay because
two
apparently I have
on
no
the
emotions.
podcast.
Emotionally scared.
I'm just kidding. Okay, so today we don't really have like a topic per se
Why is that?
because it's been a rough one and I'm not prepared. That's my fault. Also, I realized how many episodes are we in? Like 100 and something.
Something I don't know.
And I was like, oh my gosh, we've talked about like 100 because we haven't duplicated any topics yet.
Right.
So I'm like, oh my gosh, we are literally almost 200 topics in and I have to keep on thinking of shit to talk about. So I'm like, I need to start scheduling guests that know what they're talking about.
but
You know what that's like? Like when I DJ for 5 hours
Oh yeah.
and I don't repeat songs.
I can't imagine like DJs that can actually do that because I only know a handful of DJs that can actually do that. Me and Anthony were talking about this and I'm like, that's fucking impressive. Like I put myself in your guys' shoes, right? And I
Yeah.
think about the fact that you're literally sitting there on the fly half the time. Like, yes, some of it is, thought out or like planned, but the other half of the time, you guys are literally just like sitting there thinking of shit on the fly that's going to sound good and that's going to vibe with the crowd. And I'm like, how the fuck do you guys do that? That's so crazy.
It's actually like the more experienced DJs. I'm just surprised about like their library of songs in their head.
That's what I'm saying.
Like they're planning 4 or 5 songs
ahead of time, yeah. Like I'll watch Act Right DJ sometimes in the club and someone will come in with like a request, for example, right? And so he has to think about how he has to transition into that song and he'll just be like, oh, this one, and he's like going through. And I've seen you DJ before too, and I'm just like, how do you guys do that? I can't even think of what song I want to play in the car next. You know what I mean? Like,
it's funny. It's like chess for us
it?
because like we think. Well,
that's a good way to compare it.
There's a lot of DJs that can get to any song within 5 songs.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I would never be. That's why, like, I would never be able to be a DJ. I don't think I could do that. I really couldn't. I can't even think of my favorite songs by my favorite artists. Like, my kids will make fun of me. They're like, Ma, that's like your favorite song. How do you not know the name of it? I'm like, I don't know.
You're like, it goes, nah.
Yeah,
What is that song?
literally. Or like, that one show from back in the day, Name That Tune?
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
obviously we're all old enough here to remember
Yeah.
that song. Like, I am the worst at that. You'll have to be in the chorus before I even recognize what the song is. I'm terrible about that. Like Jocelyn or Anthony or like the boys will be like, they'll play a song and they're like, guess the song. And I'm like, and then it will be literally one of my favorite songs. Yeah, it's really bad.
But you came from an era where the intro melody was like
I know.
so recognizable.
Yeah.
I know. That's why it's bad. Like my friends even make fun of me sometimes because we'll all be like chilling together, playing music, and they're like, "What song is this? This is our jam." And I'll sit there for a minute and wait for the chorus,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh, "Okay."
Wait
now
till
I
they say
remember.
the title of the song in the song. Yeah.
exactly. I'm
She's
like,
like,
"Oh my
she's
god."
like, is it because this is Thriller? Oh, it's Michael Jackson.
Yes,
Thriller.
exactly.
So okay, Rich,
it's bad.
when you listen to other people DJ, can you hear and then you're like, oh, this song's coming next? Because I've DJ'd and I'll hear James because he's loud. He'll be like, oh, he's gonna do this next. I'm like, bro, it's like I understand that you've listened to me DJ twice a week.
Yeah, that's the thing though. It's like when we listen to you twice a week.
Yeah,
You start to recognize.
There's little pockets.
Yeah.
that I'm like I do that too. Like if I play the song, I'm gonna follow up with the exact same song almost every single time.
Yeah.
I feel like that's natural though, because you know what like sounds good together.
Yeah.
You know, like so I feel like everyone does that.
Yeah.
You know.
Speaking of things that are good together, what are 50 whatever you were talking about?
Okay. So this is more of like a reaction video. I found this article that I was like, that's on brand for us. You know what I mean? It's called 50 Interesting Sex Facts You Probably Didn't Know. So
I didn't even know that there was 50 facts.
that part. So when I read that, I was like, 50? Okay. Yeah. And I read like the first couple and I'm like, that's pretty funny. Or some of them are interesting. So I figured this is more like a reaction or a discussion about the.
Okay.
Because we've had like good, what's it called? Feedback, like the one about the penis surgery article. Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people liked that article that we read on podcast. And then there was the other one about the myths about sex, you know, like that one had a lot of good interaction too. So I was like, oh, this one should be a fun one too. So you want to take turns, Kuya, reading them?
Oh, yeah, I forgot. I have it. Sorry.
Don't.
Let me.
He does. We send it in the chat every time, and he never looks at it.
All right, let me start it. Number 1. Well, I'm not gonna number it because it's
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna be like,
some of them we might even skip if it's like stupid. You know?
if you get lost in the
exactly.
numbering. Nearly 10% of all dreams include sex. So it says here, sex dreams aren't just the territory of horny teenage boys. In fact, nearly 1 in 10 dreams contain some R-rated sexual content.
What do you think about that? Do you guys think that's accurate?
I think that's weird because I don't even remember 10% of my dreams.
That's exactly my reaction to this. I was like, I don't remember half of my dreams, but I do remember the sex ones, which is weird. Like I'll wake up like, oh, that was
maybe that's why
crazy.
That's why I only remember 10%.
Are those the ones that you remember too?
Those are the ones of like.
Well, if you look at it, like if you're talking about like in people in like in the world or in general, 10% is pretty large, right?
Yeah.
But really, it's probably a very small percentage.
Do you remember your dreams?
Yeah.
I remember my weird ones.
Yeah. Sometimes I remember the ones where like you're trying to run away.
Yes.
I never remember sex ones because what it is that I think the last like sexual dream I had, I think that I can remember was like I was like, well, maybe like 15, 16.
Really?
Yeah, and I had like a wet dream.
Oh, that's crazy. That long ago?
But the thing is, my theory is that if I jerk off twice a day,
as long as he meets his quota.
I'm not gonna keep any that energy balled up to translate into a dream.
But supposedly this is saying that it doesn't have to necessarily do with like your horny thoughts or anything like that. It just happens. Okay, how about this?
Sex and R-rated content's two different things, though.
Yeah,
that's true.
Murder can be an R-rated content.
That's true. So what about because this has happened to me. Have you guys ever dreamed of like doing sexual things with someone that you've never even had like a sexual affinity for? Like I remember there's like been a couple times where I've woken up and I'm like either like having sex or doing something sexual with the person that I've never had any sexual feelings towards, and it was like it caught me off guard. You know, like what the fuck? Why am I dreaming about that person? Has that ever happened to either of you?
I like so having a sex dream about somebody that you haven't had sex with. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, someone you haven't had sex with, or someone you're not even necessarily attracted to,
But I don't
or
think-
have had sexual thoughts about.
I don't think it just goes down to like actual like the act of having sex, but it could be anything sexual related.
Yeah, like even like making out or like something like that. Like, have you ever had a dream of something sexual?
I don't think I have.
Okay, so I must be a weirdo, which is why I wanted to ask you about this, because I've had that happen more than a handful of times where I've woken up and it's either someone that I don't even know, like it's like some stranger in my dream that I don't even recognize that I'm doing.
Stranger.
Isn't that weird?
But have you ever fantasized about having that scenario where it is a stranger?
No.
You know, because like apparently that's something where take for example was it our last week or the previous where Jasmine was saying that they'll role play that they've never met before.
Oh, okay,
you know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, we good?
Yeah, are we good? Is the sound good? Am I talking? I'm usually really loud.
It's kind of weird because it's almost like her mic when you talk it picks up.
Or are we having the same thing?
See, look.
Oh,
hello.
Interesting.
Sorry, guys.
okay.
Oh, no, anyway.
Anyways,
We'll deal with that later.
And you know how they say like, oh, finish what you're saying first about Jasmine and the.
No. But like it might just
So what'd
be
you dream
a
about with
scenario.
Jasmine?
No, but what I'm saying is like sometimes she said that she'll role play where
Right.
you know they'll go to the bar and then she'll pretend like they've
She
never
doesn't
met
know.
before.
Mhm.
Yeah, so maybe that's your brain doing that scenario. But since you're up to your imagination in your dream, you're picking somebody at random. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, maybe because, you know, I've heard or a lot of people say that your dreams are like a reflection of what's in your subconscious, right? That something that you don't even know is like deep, deep in there. And that's like something that's happened to me before. Like I've had sex dreams about people that I literally in my dream, I'm like, who is that tall white guy I'm having sex with in my dream or something like that, you know? Or,
Same.
right? You feel me? Okay. Or like just like a random person. I'm like, who the fuck was that I was doing? Or what I also have a lot of dreams of, not a lot. Okay, not a lot, but like what has also happened to me, and I don't know if this has happened to you guys, is this actually happens more often than not. I'll have a dream where I'm about to have sex with someone, like it's literally about to happen, and then I wake up right before it happens.
Do you get mad?
I have, like, damn, it was about to get good.
Yeah.
Damn. Has that ever happened to you guys?
Yeah, it's happened to me, and I try to go back to sleep to like
Yes.
You kind of come
to
back
be
to it.
continued episode. Yeah, but no,
exactly.
it never
ne-
works out.
It never works out.
Yeah.
What's that called when you can dream? Like, is it lucid,
Lucid.
dreaming? Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Where people can
When you
like,
can control it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish I could do that. That's crazy. Have you ever had that?
What, lucid dreams?
Yeah.
No. But as far as like what you guys were talking about earlier, I've never had it where I was actually like having intercourse with somebody, but it's almost like I've never had it with a stranger. I've always recognized the other person.
Yeah.
But it's like some random friend, and all of a sudden like we're at a party and it just turns sexual.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden like
That's happened to me
they're
too.
walking towards me naked, like here I am, and I'm like,
What kind of
And you
parties
wait-
you go to?
I don't know, Diddy parties.
I want to go to those parties. Oh, not the baby oil. Not.
They're gonna be back on, from what I hear, though.
yeah.
Are you kidding? I want to go. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Okay, the next one. So the next one says women get erections too. So women actually get erections in their genitals, and even though they're smaller than male counterparts, they are just as important. A sexologist found that the clitoris is made up of the same spongy erectile tissue as the penis, which expands and engorges when you are aroused. You can observe this. Just look at your clitoris or touch it when you're aroused, and it will be bigger.
Oh.
Okay.
So you guys can't feel it. You it's a visual thing.
I mean,
like men, obviously
You can feel it.
I can feel like
okay, I don't want to. Okay, I don't know about women. I can only speak for myself, right? I've never seen it, so I don't know what that means. Where it's like you can see it getting engorged, but I have felt the sensation of like, and maybe that's me getting an erection. The sensation of like it throbbing. Does that make sense? Like
I
it's
think
like
we need to do some experiments.
I think we need pictures.
visuals. Okay,
Anthony, before and after,
that would be so weird
like
to
an
like see
Ozempic photo.
to see that like actual happen in action. Like
Like when you're done, you just push him off. It's like, I gotta get a picture. This is for the podcast.
so, I don't know, women out there, if you're listening to this,
Yeah,
have
we
you
need a thumbnail.
Yeah, we need a thumbnail. But have you ever put in the comments, but in a way that we're not going to get banned? Put in the comments if you've ever experienced or felt a quote unquote woman erection, or if you've actually seen it get bigger.
I've seen it.
Oh, you've seen it.
Yeah, it
Actually, in porn, I've seen it where it
yes.
looks bigger. Yeah.
And
Okay.
it becomes like a nipple. You know,
Is it really?
Well, I mean, in its shape, right?
Right.
It kind of protrudes, and it has that roundness to it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I have a really chubby vagina, so maybe that's why I don't see it.
it's hiding.
It's hiding in there. It's up tucked in there, you know?
I've never seen women parts before, so
Really?
yeah.
It's interesting. Only boy ones, right?
Yep.
Okay, that's what I thought.
No,
That's
only
what I
men. You can't say boy.
thought. Okay, men. Of age ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of age.
I know. Oh, shoot. Okay. Read the next one.
3% of people have no sexual fantasies at all.
Think
Wow.
you're a freak for not for thinking about something freaky. Nope. Even though most people don't talk about it, 97% of people have sexual fantasies. Can you imagine what is your reaction to that? Not having a sexual fantasy? Are those like asexual people? Like people that don't feel sexual? That's weird to me.
Does that count like people like intubated and comatose?
I know. Literally, I'm like, that can't be real.
I don't think that that's weird.
Having no sexual fantasies?
Yeah, I really don't think so, because there's some things that people like for example, there's people that crave food.
Right.
I don't.
Oh, that's weird.
You know what I'm saying?
You don't have any food cravings.
No, there's some food that I'll be like, oh, I'm down for that or whatever. But typically, I don't have food cravings because I'm used to eating the same thing over and over again.
What's your favorite food?
Churros.
Okay, so you have a favorite. You just don't crave.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I've never been like, oh, I'm like, I need this craving fulfilled.
Interesting.
Yeah, but I mean, of course, there's like favorite things.
Yeah.
So that might be in the same thing where it's like the person
enjoys sex but doesn't crave it.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know if I could ever be with a person like that. I need someone to crave me through the day or fantasize about me. So that's kind of crazy. What are you looking at?
I'm reading this thing.
What does it say?
Well, it says the vast majority say they fantasize somewhere between several times per week and several times per day.
Yeah, but so there's also that thing like there's a lot of people that go on social media and they get what are the feel good things? Is that
no
endorphins?
No, not endorphins.
Like
serotonin?
No, what like you know how some
orgasms? No,
girls live off of like the likes that they get.
Oh,
their dopamine hit.
Dopamine, yeah. That's the word. Dopamine.
So let's say that there's some people that get that dopamine hit from all of the reactions that people get on Instagram versus like me, I don't care. You know?
Maybe it's hard for me to grasp because I am a very sexual person. So that one's hard for me to like really wrap my head around, that you don't have one sexual thought. Like there's 3% of the people in the world that don't.
But then there's they may have cravings for other things. Like when I'm DJing or when I hear my friends DJ or whatever, there's some combos like we were talking about earlier. Yeah. I'm like, oh, this would go so perfect with this, and they play a different song. I'm like, I'm gonna do this when I get home just so I do it right. You know what I'm saying?
Kind of scratch the itch or whatnot.
Yeah.
Either that or there's 3% of you guys are fucking liars.
That too. That's a possibility.
You ask, right? And people are like really like introverted about their sexual activities.
Yeah, that's true.
No, I have no sexual fantasies whatsoever.
That's true. That's true. What about what it said that you read about what was the minimum, like 3 times a day or
several
week?
times like a couple times a week or 3 times a week, several times a day.
Do you think that's accurate?
I mean, if you look at it in general, like in a percentage wise, yeah, it'll add up to that. But I mean, I can go maybe 2 weeks without ever thinking anything sexual in my head because I got so many things going on.
Really? 2 weeks?
Well, I could throw an alternative too.
Even if you're like canoodling with your person, you don't like have like a.
But that's not a thought. That's not a fantasy. It's happening right then and there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So right? I have an alternative.
Okay, I guess that's different from an urge. Fantasy is different from an urge.
Yeah, like
okay, what were you?
Like you're sitting there watching, like, oh my god, like, oh, I would like my dick suck right now. Like, I don't walk around in the day thinking that.
You don't?
No, because I got other.
But you do sometimes, though.
I mean, yeah, sometimes you go, that'd be probably good right now.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
But it's not like
3 times a day,
3 times a week, or
yeah.
Well, I have an alternative too, as far as answering the question. Maybe the people that were asked, maybe the things that they crave just seem so vanilla that they don't consider it a fantasy. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe some people are thinking the fantasy as in. Like,
something crazy.
I go to Comic-Con all the time. I would love to bang Princess Leia in her, gold bikini.
True.
But then they maybe they don't think that. Maybe they think that's what the fantasy is, and they're just like, oh no, I never really thought of that. But their fantasies just seem something that is so normalized that they don't consider it
a fantasy.
Yeah,
that makes sense. So, side note about that:
white picket fence and crisp linen sheets, and the guy slowly loves me. That's how
Slowly kisses me.
Yeah.
In all the places.
Yeah, maybe they haven't read a Daniel Steele novel, you know?
What is it about the gold Princess Leia bathing suit fantasy? What is that about? Because I've heard a couple of guys, and obviously it was referenced in Friends too. What is that? Is that a real thing? Is it because Princess Leia is hot? Is that like a childhood?
I think it's
Hot
probably
person?
one of the first times you've seen somebody in a bikini.
Because it's that, yeah, because that's the older one.
You look at like a Star Wars, you're watching it because it's a sci-fi. So your parents allow you to watch it as a kid.
Right.
And all of a sudden, here's Princess Leia
In a gold bikini.
in a gold bikini.
Okay.
Yeah, and then, you know, thinking back at the shows that we watch, like we also remember How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah.
So if you think about this thought process, the cheerleader effect.
Oh,
So
yeah.
when there's a lot of things that are around, it seems cool, but then when you look at them individually, there's so much of a difference. That can happen in the opposite way too, where you're just watching lightsaber battles and talk about the Trade Federation, and then Jabba the Hutt or Chewbacca or Yoda, you know, very, very non-sexualized. But then as soon as you get into that scene,
all of a sudden.
it's like, oh, I've been deprived of this for so long.
That makes sense.
Now all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, this is hot.
Yeah. Or when you're 14, 15, maybe and your hormones are kicking in, it's probably the only thing that you could sit there and watch and you don't have to hide it.
True.
You know, your dad's like,
Not the
why do you
Spice
keep watching
Channel.
this?
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, why the Adam and Eve channel? Why do you keep watching this scene
Yeah.
over and over again?
Or maybe, you know, Carrie Fisher just looked bad as hell in the day, you know?
Maybe. Okay, so what is your guys' craziest sexual fantasy that you've ever thought of? It doesn't necessarily have to have happened, but what is your craziest one?
Well, not necessarily fancy, but the first thing that came to my mind is when I told you like 14, like the last dream I had.
Yeah.
It was having sex on the top of a water slide.
Damn. And then you went down the slide while having sex?
No, it just happened. I went. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I woke up.
Is there something?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, there's noises over there.
Yeah.
Intern number 1's here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
She
I
just
did not
stepped
know.
in.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't know that. I was like, there's a ghost.
Hi.
What about you? Craziest sexual fantasy, if you could, like, if the sexual god was like, ding, you can have that. What would it be?
She was naked
Okay,
with
have
like
you ever
these meals.
seen baby alligators? Right.
Yes.
So you take like 12 of them
All right.
Wow.
and you butter them up.
You butter up the baby alligators.
You know, I gotta think mine through a little bit. You go first.
Yeah.
Oh
I think he got lost. He was cooking dinner at that point. Baby alligator.
What's yours? I know that you told me the slide one, but what's like a sexual fantasy?
I don't
want it to be like outlandish. Like, what is one?
I don't have an outlandish. I'm
Why?
pretty boring. I love missionary. I like looking at my girl like in her face, eye to eye.
So you're like very vanilla
Very vanilla, but like
with your girl.
well, I love vanilla ice cream, by the way. Like,
Okay.
I mean, that's like my thing. Vanilla shake, vanilla ice cream. I'm very vanilla, but it's I think that when we do things out of the ordinary, it's like in the heat of the moment type of thing.
Like when she dresses like a clown.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. When she come, I go. She's like, I gotta go pee. I'll go. When you come back, you better be dressed as a clown.
Yep. And then,
That does it for you, huh?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. What about like okay, have you thought of one?
to be honest with you, the things that I fantasize about are just more like situational things where there's that voyeurism where oh, we might get caught or something like that. But it's never been like, oh, you know, like
alleyways.
yeah, you know.
That's why he has no fantasies, because he's already lived them. He's like, I've done every alleyway.
All the good ones at least.
Yeah. For me, I'm trying to think. I think because I've done such crazy things already, I don't really fantasize. Like, I've kind of done it all, you know?
But see, you say that now, but then like 5 minutes ago, you're like, I can't imagine somebody not having fantasies.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so I fantasize about the things I've already done, you know?
Okay.
Like that.
Yeah.
Things that I've done that were fun, you know? But the first thing that came to mind was kind of the same thing that you said, like the whole voyeurism thing. Like, I think that's really sexy. I think that's like a cool thing to, like, I've done that before, but I have like been like, oh, I want to do that again. You know?
I've never imagined myself getting with like a furry or something like that.
Yeah, no.
I don't get the
I don't understand those ones. Yeah, the weird.
Well, yours would be reptiles, right?
Yeah.
He said,
She came out like
she came out in a lizard costume. No, you have to come out with a lizard costume, and then
You'd be like, babe, hey, babe, unlock your jaw. Let me see.
we both dress up as snakes and just lock.
Oh my gosh. Not you guys turning your reptiles into something sexual. Okay. Next, it says, a headache may actually make you more in the mood. I've never heard of that before. It says, contrary to popular cliche, not tonight I have a headache, one study found that all headache sufferers avoid sexual activity. But then someone else suggests that sexual desire and migraine headaches may be influenced by the same brain chemical. What are your thoughts on that? Have you guys ever had a bad headache and thought, I want to have sex?
No. Because like I would want to distract myself from the pain. So I think that I think it's just an excuse that people use when they don't want to have sex.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm the same exact way. Yeah. Because I've definitely had partners that have said that, like, oh no, my head is like pounding, I can't. But for me, if my head is pounding and that opportunity presents itself, I'm gonna do it to distract myself, like you said. I've actually done that before, and then my headache went away. You know?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, because I mean, it's like you have a headache, right? But you can focus on getting head.
Yes.
So it's like, it's and even if it doesn't make it go away, it makes the experience a little bit better.
Right. In the moment, it goes away, or like it lightens it or whatever.
Well, actually, according to this, it's actually specific to migraine.
The chemical, it said, right?
No, it says migraine sufferers. So it's not just a headache.
Oh,
it's an actual migraine.
So if you're a migraine sufferer, guys, try having sex when you're having migraines. Apparently that's helps it. Is that what it says?
No. Whenever migraine sufferers tend to have a higher urge,
I see.
a higher desire, higher levels of sexual desire.
That's why God didn't give me migraines, because it'd be off the charts then.
You'd have like 10 kids.
I know. I would have 10 kids. Okay. The clitoris is way bigger than you think it is. In addition to the part of the clitoris you can see, there is a much larger part called the clitoral urethral vaginal complex underneath the skin that also engorges with arousal.
Yes. I knew that from anatomy class.
When woman is aroused, the vaginal canal also lengthens as the uterus is pulled further upward into the body. So you're like basically having a hard-on, but inside?
Yes. So it's opposite.
Interesting. Never mind. I was gonna say, well, I wonder how people that are like trans, when they get that stuff like fixed, but that's a whole.
Well, I was gonna explain it.
Okay, go ahead.
It's actually, you reverse it, so you have all your nerve endings in the penis, and then you flip it.
Okay, I've heard of that, but what about the other way? Like a girl that wants a pee-pee, what do they do then?
Oh, you wear a strap with a little button on it to mess with the.
But people that are transitioning the other way, like female to male, can they get like a penis attached to them? Is that a thing?
I mean, yeah, probably.
Or do they just wear strap-ons, like what you said?
The thing is like I've never researced it.
Yeah,
right?
Me neither. I guess that's why I said never mind, because I'm like, I don't know.
Because I've always heard about
the other way,
male to female, and then cut it off and flip it,
right? Do they cut it off?
I mean, they take it off. You keep the nerve endings, but you.
Oh, they're like actually. I thought they like there was like okay. I don't know. I'm not a doctor, but I knew they flipped it, but I didn't know.
Tie it and tuck it. Is that what you thought it was?
Literally, I thought it was something like that. Like, okay, sorry.
Rich was if you zoom in on his face, he was so disappointed.
I was like, oh shit! They like
if you flip it, then it's still a solid object that you're running into. So
you're right.
You take out the tissue in the middle.
Oh,
flip it. Use the nerve endings.
Okay, but you said cut it, so I'm imagining them like
but
literally.
You would have to cut the. the cartilage off to be able to take it out. I mean, it's just not like free hanging there.
I don't know what I imagine, to be honest. I don't know, but I'm just imagining like, because I know like circumcision even hurts a guy. You know what I mean? So I'm imagining like
I don't know. I had it like
when you were a baby.
when I was like a little kid.
Okay, go ahead. Read the next one, Quia. You're next.
Want an orgasm? Leave your socks on. What?
What? Interns in the back freaking cracking up right
Our
now.
studio audience. is
Yeah.
like,
Want an orgasm? Leave your socks on.
If you want to increase your chance of having an orgasm, keep your socks on during
wear
sex.
all my socks at the same time.
Wait, look,
I'm
see,
just imagining.
but the thing is, like,
Okay, pause. Are you guys sock wearers when you have sex?
No.
no.
Okay.
Well,
I think that shit is the weirdest thing ever.
Okay,
I really do.
First of all, I can't stand fucking the heat. So, what's the quickest way to heat up in bed? Wear your socks.
Wear your socks,
So
yeah.
I take my socks off and I'll have my foot out to generate that coolness.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
I can't sleep with socks on because of that, because I get hot easily when I sleep. Is that real? That can't test it out, guys. Have sex and
Okay.
see.
So,
What does it
so
say?
it says research is some university did a research on this. No one is sure why this works, but there's a theory. It says in order to orgasm, you need to be totally relaxed and anxiety free, and cold feet can interfere with the ability to really get into sex.
I feel like this is bullshit, because in my opinion, I'm like, who the fuck is thinking about cold feet when they're fucking? Like, oh my God, my feet are so cold while you're having sex.
Yes. I mean, I don't know. And then there's two of you on top of each
Yeah.
other under the covers.
Exactly.
Sometimes I'm like, oh, this is too. It gets me too hot. I'm already
Right.
butt ass naked.
Exactly.
Just like, ooh, baby, my feet are so warm right now.
I can't. I cannot.
Imagine you're in the middle of it with your girl, and you're like, no, not the socks.
Who came up with this? What woman was?
Girl, you so good.
Fran
I feel like I'm wearing
Wallfish.
my croissant shoes.
Go get your croissant shoes. Let them see.
Oh, I have to get up? Okay.
Okay, maybe later when you get up. You don't have to do it right now.
Okay.
Fran Wallfish, PhD, psychotherapist, and author. I don't know, Fran. I think this is BS.
I know. I mean, I
The girl
wouldn't
from
trust
the
it.
nanny?
Yeah.
Fran Drescher. Yeah. I don't trust any researcher named Fran.
I know, right? Okay. The next one. A big penis won't stretch out or ruin a vagina.
I wouldn't know. Vince?
You'll never have that problem with me.
Yeah.
Okay, it says here, a weirdly popular myth circulating on the internet these days is that having too much sex or having sex with a larger partner or toy can stretch out a woman's vagina and labia, resulting in roast beef flaps. The vaginal canal is a muscle and does not permanently stretch from having accommodated large penis or toy.
You know what? I hope this is true, because it might work in reverse too. So if ladies, you want a tighter vagina, hook up with me, because I have a small pee-pee.
Not the 2-inch penises.
I'm surprised you think it's that big.
The vagina is incredibly resilient and bounces back quickly. Also, the shape and size of the labia are unique to each woman and are not indicative of a sexual. Okay, so speaking of the I don't know if we've talked about this before, but I've already forgotten. The big roast beef lips or whatever.
The beef curtains?
Beef curtains, that's the word. Someone once asked me one time if I have a pretty pussy. Right? And I was like, I don't know. What the fuck does that mean? Like, what does that entail? You know? So what would you guys describe is a pretty pussy? Is it the opposite of beef curtains?
Yes.
Because beef curtains are like,
No,
They
no.
put you off,
but
or-
when you get aroused, things get engorged, and then the beef curtains can appear. A lot of times, though, when men, from my personal opinion, when men say, "Do you have a pretty pussy?" a lot of times they're looking at it like almost like 19-year-old, like pristine looking.
what is that?
okay.
Well, okay, so what's the difference between like a 20-year-old pussy looks wise
okay.
and like my age? What's the difference? Because I don't look down there enough to know. You know what I mean? Like, what's the
you know
difference?
when it's like when you see like just when it's smooth and then there's just a slit,
Yeah.
right? But then you have to open it up to get it.
Yeah.
in. Not like with the labias hanging out.
Okay, but like
to
for example,
unroll
like mine are still like that, right? Like it's like a line and nothing's hanging out. So
Yeah.
like, what's the difference between that and like does it change over the years? Is that why? Like, do girls?
No,
There's some girls with like larger labias. That's why they got the labia surgery to trim it.
But are they like that since they were younger?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it doesn't necessarily change. It's just you're either born with it or you're not.
Yeah, but a lot of guys. Well, maybe as you grow, it changes.
Mm-hmm.
So you're thinking like going through puberty and in your early stage of life, it might look a different way.
Okay.
Let me offer you an alternate thought. When he asked you if you have a
Pretty. Yeah.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think he just wanted you to send him a picture.
Yeah, I mean, I knew that.
Yeah.
Obviously, I knew that, but
honestly,
it made
we
me,
don't
like,
care.
Yeah, it made me think like, what does that mean exactly? But that's why I wanted to ask you guys because that was asked to me once, and I remember thinking in the moment like, what is a pretty pussy? Like, what exactly? To me, all pussies look ugly. Like, I'm like,
no, actually,
that's why I don't like to look at my own. I'm like, they don't look nice. They don't look cute to me. Like,
if you went through and you looked at like a mug shot, like a lineup, you can tell which one would. You could tell almost immediately what
pretty looks like.
What generally what people think pretty would look like.
Okay, so this article though is saying that it doesn't really matter that if you have a lot of sex, big D sex, at the end of the day, like it is what it is, right? It looks like what it looks like.
Yeah, but
So-
I think there might be some damage that happens to it.
Because that's what I was thinking. I'm like, is this true? Because I'm thinking about like for example, like porn workers, right?
Yes.
Like they've been through so many, and to me, it looks like
No.
like ran through.
But at the
almost,
same time,
you know?
there's also some mattress actresses
Oh, okay.
that
There you go.
that have gone through that, but then you'll see them in another video or whatever, and it still looks nice.
Yeah. No, but
So it's like individual.
but
probably.
I think it retains its form and shape, right? And it's resilient and it tightens up or loosens up, tightens up, whatever. But I think from what you're talking about, like sex workers or mattress actresses, I think the amount of work in that area might mess up with like nerve endings.
Oh, that makes sense because it's like more than the average person.
Yeah, you're not necessarily. You might have certain things that are not really like working right.
Right.
Sometimes maybe it's psychological. Like I've had so much sex in the last 4 years, 700 films, 700 dudes that
Yeah.
just.
I've always wondered too because I've never had a vaginal birth, right? I've always had C-sections. I'm like, does that make it look different too? Because girls get like what is it? Vaginal rejuvenation surgery and stuff like that after they've had so many
I
kids.
thought it was reconstruction.
Or reconstruct. Yeah, that's what it's called. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Because I was like rejuvenation. You just go to a spa and you put like cucumber. Like,
oh, they have that. Have you heard of that? Those spas, they're called, shoot, I can't remember the name of it. I actually wanted to try it, but it's literally a spa for your vajayjay, and they steam it and they put like essential oils and steam it, and supposedly it's like super good for your vajayjay, and it's called like rejuvenation. What the fuck is it called?
Go find out what that place is,
and see if they're hiring.
and then see if we could do a podcast there while you're getting treatment.
That'd be crazy. Because I actually knew a coworker that did it, and then I saw Kourtney Kardashian talking about it too, because she's gotten it done. And she was like, "You guys, it's actually really good." I forgot the name of it. I have to look it up. But yeah, apparently that's like an actual thing where people go and they specifically like steam it in a certain way, and you like it gets rejuvenated.
I think it's
don't
just
know.
an excuse to get your rocks off.
It's like thought therapy.
Yeah,
right?
I mean,
Thought therapy.
it's like me, like, hey, I went to TJ so I can have penis therapy.
I'm gonna read the next one while I look this one up.
Have some chick chew on some ice cubes and blow at my dick.
How come they don't have any guy stuff like that? Like
Because we handle that shit ourselves.
steaming.
Because
steaming your
if a
vagina.
guy did it, it'd be considered prostitution.
True.
If a girl did it, it's vaginal rejuvenation.
Yoni steaming. That's what it's called. Yoni steaming.
This is the dumbest name I've ever heard.
Vaginal steaming, also known as yoni steaming or V-steam, is a practice involving sitting over a steaming water infused with herbs. Claims
Thanksgiving. Hey,
So some believe that it offers benefits like cleansing the vaginal area and uterus, regulating menstrual cycles, easing menstrual pain, and promoting healing after childbirth.
yeah, sounds like a fraud. Sounds like a scam.
The vagina is naturally self-cleaning and doesn't require steaming for detoxification. However, many people believe that this is true.
Yeah, no, it's a scam. Any way to get your guys' money.
Yeah, I've never. I don't know. I can't. I will try it for you guys one day, and I'll report back. I'm like, who is performing this service? That's what I want to know.
That's why I'm saying, see if they're hiring.
I mean, we could do it at the studio.
And then I'll report back.
You're gonna tell us,
Yeah.
if it works or not. Okay.
Get one of those Ray-Ban.
You're gonna do
Meta-
like a smell test before and
Yep.
after.
the Ray-Ban
Nice.
Meta glasses.
That's funny.
Okay, the G-spot exists, except it doesn't.
What does that mean? Okay, ladies, listen to this because we're always talking about that we want the guy to hit the G-spot, right? So let's see. It says G-spot is a misnomer as what we consider the spot isn't a discrete anatomical entity. Instead, it's an area of the urethral sponge that is highly sensitive for many people, but bodies and arousal are complex and there's no, surefire technique or even erogenous zone that works for everyone. So it's saying that it's not an actual G-spot, that everyone's different.
Yeah,
What letter would they use then?
An X-spot?
X most. I think that has to do with like a lot of times like quote unquote sex experts tell women that it's an inch in and an
Yeah,
inch
like you have
up.
to do the come here motion to get the G-spot.
Yeah, but it could be not necessarily like it could be in the vicinity.
So if it's fictitious, then why is it that everybody that says to hit the G-spot, they say the same technique?
Well, I think it's because you have a shaft, and when you're hitting it, it might just be your G-spot they might think it's over here, but it's actually like over here. But since you're still working this roughly the same area, oh, it's like, oh my God, he was hitting that spot.
I mean, yeah, it's hard for me to like believe though, because I mean, like every woman that I've talked to or like myself, there is like a spot. Do you know what I'm saying? So you're saying it's more like a vicinity.
Well, no, I'm saying like it differs per female. So like if the way you rock the boat, right, with one female might not necessarily be the same with another female because it's hitting different spots.
But then what about when girls talk about like, oh, I love a crooked dick, or like, I love the come here motion. Like that's kind of like a universal thing that you hear amongst a lot of women.
Yeah.
Which is what you're kind of
Yeah,
saying,
that's
right?
what I'm pretty much saying.
But I'm saying, that come here motion might not necessarily be in the same spot all the time.
Like it might be in your ear.
I guess so.
You go this way. Come here.
Downwards, that'd be
Yeah.
weird. Have you ever done that to someone? Instead of this way, you go this way? Have you ever done
No.
that? That's weird. Like imagining if a guy did that, I'd be like, what the fuck are you doing?
Oh no, actually
Note to
no.
self.
If you came from the back, you could.
Or if she's on her knees, is that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So instead of
Yeah.
you're
It's so weird. I don't know. I feel like that's so weird. Okay, let's see. The next one. Okay, that one's dumb. It just says it's talking about how we talk more about sex and social media. Okay.
like right now.
Yes. Boom. The average person's sexual peak is the same age they can rent a car. So
25?
in correlation, the average American will have the most sex around 25, according to studies. They found that people in their 20s have sex more than 80 times per year, declining to 60 times per year by 45 and 20 times per year by age 65. Each year after the peak of sexual frequency at 25, sexual frequency declines usually by 3.2% each year.
Yeah.
You think that's
I
true?
agree with that.
I agree with that because you get busy, you have work, you have different priorities at that point. You're not looking to just like ground and pound, know what I'm saying? When you're younger, it was just like,
Well, also, I feel like when you're younger, your hormones are like wild. So that's like literally all you're thinking about. Like, you want to do it with your partner like all the time because that's like literally that's the best thing you felt.
well, no. See, we got to rephrase that. You don't want to do it with your partner all the time. You want to do it with anybody all the time.
You want to do it all the time. yeah, that's
just
true.
Anybody
That's
all
true.
the time.
So does that make me weird because I'm still at that peak?
No, but if you look at the numbers, like 25, right? At the it's peak at 25. You're in college.
Yeah.
Like, in that zone, 19 to 25.
Yeah, that's true.
And what do you got to do in college except have sex?
Just
and
bang
study?
with everyone that you can.
Yeah,
true.
you're in a large.
Oh, am I not supposed to put my feet on the table?
That's
I'm
okay.
so sorry. Because I'm so short, I can't like my feet wants to go on something.
Well, you can bring it closer.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, you could. You're at this establishment where there's like all these hormones raging.
And alcohol. Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. That's true.
God.
So would you agree that yours has declined every year?
Well, because it's just numbers based. Instead of dating, let's say, as an example, 4 people, you're only dating 1 person.
Okay, but like when you were in a serious relationship before, did you have sex more then than you do now in a serious relationship?
No,
Okay.
I'm pretty good now.
Hey, intern.
Hey.
How about you, Vince? Do you feel like, I know you're not with a significant other right now, but like if you were to compare your sexual drive or how many times you had sex with your partner back in the day to now, do you think the amount would be the same?
I think that it would be higher when I was younger, just because like if I were to take a scenario where I'm with the same person, like let's say if I've only had one partner and they last all the way through, I think that it would be more on the younger side just because my hormones would be going. And then at the same time now with more responsibilities, I have my mind preoccupied.
What if you didn't have those though? Would you feel like your amount or drive would be the same? Like in the perfect imaginary world, you don't have those responsibilities on your mind. It's the same as when you were younger.
It's hard to imagine that just because, like I said, the things that I've fantasized about would be like the excitement. I don't know if I would be able to keep up with that excitement for, I'm in my 40s. I don't know if I would have lasted 20 years worth of excitement and keeping things fresh for her, and same thing with her for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I doubt it, but then like being in a newer relationship, I think that it would, I would probably want it as much as I did when I was 25.
Okay.
Yeah.
When it comes to pleasure, penis girth is more important than penis length. Okay, I can attest to this. For many women, every woman I've ever talked to says that that's true. So that's gonna be that's a true thing, I believe.
Yeah, everyone that I've ever met had told me I have none of those.
You don't have girth or length. You're just out here surviving.
I'm just balls.
I don't even have enough length for them to hear the girth.
I'm just all balls.
Yep.
All balls, no glory.
I bet you these two have like big dicks and we don't even know because they're constantly talking about how small they are.
You asked her.
Look, I did ask her and she said he's just fine. So that means it's a good size.
We're made for each other.
So she has a small vagina, is that what you're saying? To fit your small penis?
We're made for each other.
Have you ever felt that with the girl where, I know you guys are like all girls are the same, but have you ever been with a person where it was like, man, I feel like I was like made for your vagina?
Yeah. First time ever.
This one?
Yeah. It just, I don't know what it is. It just like, it touches like every single zone.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's almost like you try to last, but you can't.
See, that's why when you used to talk, see, because now you have a partner, so you feel me and you've experienced it. Because I remember before you're like, no, it's all the same, and I'm like, I don't think so, because I've literally had, my ex, even like Anthony, like, dude, it's like perfectly made for mine, and I'm like, see, I think there's a difference. I feel like there's a difference, but so now you kind of agree with that.
Yeah, but it I'm kind of upset about it.
Why? Oh, because you don't last.
I can't last. I'm like, I'm like,
You got to take some pills.
I don't know. My heart's not gonna take that. You know what I'm saying? We have heart issues here.
That's true. That's true.
I mean, if my doctor, I don't know what type of pills. I don't even trust those.
The dick pills?
Yeah, the ones that would say like you last longer. What, make me numb?
I don't know. I don't know how it works.
But also,
I
I think it's because
I know that I've experienced that before, like a guy take one before, but I don't know how it makes you.
But
longer.
you know what? I think also that changes a lot of things. The biggest change is I hardly ever drink anymore.
Oh,
Right. So it's different, right?
yeah.
Oh, so if you're about to come, you should take a shot. So
I should just have like a Camelback.
yeah,
He's all wearing it. He's all naked with a fucking Camelback.
what do they call that? Whiskey, whatever.
Whiskey dick?
Yeah.
Dick, yeah.
No.
Have you ever had whiskey dick?
Yeah.
I know you don't drink now, but like in the past, I know you have.
Oh, hell yeah.
Have you
Yeah.
ever had that too,
Yeah.
where you couldn't make it happen?
Yeah.
Thank God for like girls that have persistency.
That have patience to wait for you.
She's just like,
He's
no,
all, wake
it's
up.
gonna work." Yeah.
Hello, good morning. So this is also talking about like the G spot. Was it the G spot we were talking about right now? What are we talking about? Do you guys have like is there a certain specific part on all men where it's more sensitive or more pleasurable?
The head.
Yes, the head.
The head.
Like just the head in general, or is it like closer to the hole or like the rim? Like what?
I just think it's a whole head.
Yeah.
I mean,
So,
all the
I'll-
nerve endings are there.
I'll tell you this: like when
So
a
it's
guy
like equivalent
comes,
to the clit, basically.
when a guy comes and then he's all like, "Okay, stop."
Yeah.
All of the sensation that we're having an overload on is all in the tip.
Yeah.
So if you know you're like stop, if she like grabs your balls, it wouldn't be the same.
No, I would prefer that. Like
Okay.
if I were to come and then I'm at that point where everything's sensitive, I'd rather like start like licking the shaft or the balls. But but if she stays away from the head,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
because that still feels good.
what is the sensation that you feel? I'm like, I want to know what it feels like to be a man. What is the sensation you feel when girls lick your balls? Because I know guys like that too.
No, I'm not a ball guy.
You're not at
Like,
all?
stay away from that fucking place.
Because I know a lot of guys that are like, yeah, I like when girls lick my balls or cup it or like, things like that.
No, but I said, people like nakgiga, like they
Yeah.
get like, and they squeeze. Just stay away because that'll ruin the day.
So you just prefer don't even.
Yeah, just you can play with it in a certain way, but like a lot of times,
But I'm saying like, is there a pleasurable feeling? It's
It's not whack. Like it's kind of similar to like if a girl wants to like kiss my neck or like my earlobe or something like that. It's just the fact that she's doing it there.
Yeah.
It's kind of like
Okay, so
It's
it's
like
kind of like if
grabbing
a girl
titties.
lets me do anal to her. It's not actually better than a vagina.
it's just the thought.
It's just the
basically.
fact that
Okay.
wow, she's freaky enough to let me do this.
That's
you
kind
know?
of what I was asking that because I've had
Yeah.
partners like tell me like, okay, lick my balls, and I'm like, does that actually feel good, or is it more of the thought that
No,
I'm doing it?
Because
You
it
know what I
feels
mean?
good to be licked, but
Right.
then I'm not gonna be like, "Yo, get in my armpit." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, that's what I was asking.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, is there actually a good feeling, or is it like the sexual thought principle behind it mostly?
Yeah, just like okay, getting roadhead, it doesn't feel better, but then it's that excitement, the fact that she'll do that. You know
God,
what
I
I'm
love
saying?
you. Thank you. I'm so short. Okay, see, much better. Okay,
I'm over here just like watching you, and I'm
watching me like struggle to
yeah.
touch the table.
I'm seeing you trying to balance, and I was like, oh, what a dick.
You're such a gentleman. Thank you. Okay, go ahead, Kuya. What's next?
Oh shit. My balls. The only thing fancy condom turned on is your credit card. Yes.
The only thing fancy condoms turn on is your credit card.
Yeah, like rib.
Rib for her pleasure. Little campaigns, bumps, tickler. They don't bother. Okay. As a woman, that is true. But you guys, as males, is the only thing that the condom helps you guys is does it make you last longer because you don't feel it as much?
No.
Or does it feel like, what does it feel like to wear a condom as a guy and you're having sex? What's the difference?
It's less warm. It's less. It's definitely less sensation.
Yeah, it's definitely less sensation. It's kind of like, okay, you know how you've done massage, right?
Yeah.
So imagine rolling a ball on your back versus somebody that's actually putting their knuckles on you and you know what I'm saying? Because when you're rolling a ball, you're not getting that friction.
Right.
But if you were to oil your hands and then actually like use your palm and then push up on the back and everything like that, then yeah, you get that better sensation.
I was about to ask, what does it feel like inside of a vagina? But I was like, I felt one before. Never mind. Just kidding.
You have one. You can experiment right now.
You can go. You can go check.
I don't do
I'll
that.
record it for you.
Liar.
I am not. I don't like that. Like to myself, no, I'm not. Like as
So there's no like, let's just say Anthony's on vacation somewhere, like on a 3-day trip, and you're just like, you just grab the toy.
Well,
Yeah,
I just think it will look weird because like
I feel absolutely nothing. I've tried it a few times when I'm like, like because I you watch porn or you hear girls talking about like, oh yeah, I fingered myself, or like I have one of my friends, she showed me a video because she's like, we were talking about how she squirts, right? And I was like, that's crazy. I want to see. And she showed me the video of her squirting and she was fingering herself. And I was like, how do you get off on that? Like, I don't understand that because and I think I've said this on here before back in the day, but I'm like, to me, fingering yourself is the equivalent of tickling yourself. I feel absolutely nothing. Like if a guy or a person is doing it to me, I like a girl or guy, whatever, that's, oh my God, I love it. But me to do it to myself, I get literally no pleasure out of it at all. I have to have a vibrator. Like that's the only way that I can get off by myself.
that's interesting. Because like, so I'll be honest with you. I like it when a girl like gives me a hand job, but sometimes it's like I could do it better.
See, I've heard that from guys before. Like girls are not really good at hand jobs. I can do it better myself.
Here, I'll tell you why. And I had to explain this to a bartender that we all know, right?
Okay.
So she was like, because she's been dating the fairer sex, so she's not experienced with guys,
Right?
And she's like, I wouldn't even know how to do it. And I said, okay, if you're gonna spit on it, then do this, right? If it's dry, grab the skin and go like this, because you're gonna start a fire,
Right.
If it's dry, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's like rug burn.
Yeah,
I mean,
and it's like I go to the
Indian
gym,
burn.
I have callus, and I'm like, I know how to do it better than girls with soft hands.
Right.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, and girls, if you have tips on how I can do that to myself and make it feel good, let me know, because my girlfriends are even like, have you tried this? What if you do this? Or like, you know how girls, they'll like play with their clit?
Yeah.
That doesn't do anything for me either. Isn't that weird?
Maybe it's a mental thing.
I think it is. I honestly think it is, because the second I use a toy, it's like it's on, like,
Well,
I'm like,
I'll definitely say if you're gonna go in, probably clip your nails.
well, yeah, that too. I've tried it without the nails. But also, interestingly enough, I think it really is a mental thing, because I don't like dildos. Like, you know how girls have like dildos as toys?
Yeah.
I don't like them. I feel nothing also with that. But I like having sex with dudes. Like, I'm like, I like the feeling of the real thing, but I don't like dildos. I don't like my own fingers, but I like a guy's fingers, like a guy's. You know what I mean? So it must be a mental thing.
Yeah, it could be like you've never gotten off on either the dildo or your fingers, but like once you picked up the rose.
How did you know that I have that?
We talked about it in the last episode.
Yeah.
Was it the rose? Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah, yeah.
You know
Remember,
what I got?
Jasmine would try to her
You make
kid
it sound
tried
like I
to
was digging
charge
through your dresser or something. How'd you know I have one?
I just thought you assumed because every girl has one. That's why I was teasing. Like, oh, you knew that.
No, because remember, we're gonna 3D print a dock for you.
Oh yeah, that's right. I
Yeah.
forgot about that. Okay. Okay. What were you saying though?
No, it's like that's gonna be like almost instantaneous.
Yeah.
You don't have to really, now you know how guys feel.
I think also I might be broken now in hindsight, because ever since I did start masturbating, it was always with a toy. It was never not with one. So that's
now you know
why.
how guys feel. We have to work all that for nothing.
I know.
Like, you might not have the patience. You might get there, but you don't have the patience to get there. That's what makes it harder for guys to get a girl off.
That makes sense. The patience.
Okay. What's up, everybody? There's been a crazy episode where we have so much to talk about that we have to split it up into 2. So this is the end of part 1, but next week we're going to continue on to part 2. Stay tuned.